The Israeli military released new video overnight of what it says are its air defenses stopping incoming fire from Lebanon. But so far, no retaliation from Iran for the assassination of a Hamas leader visiting Tehran 2 weeks ago. So perhaps there's a window for diplomacy. Ceasefire and hostage talks are resuming in Qatar this morning with the heads of the CIA, Israel's Mossad, and officials from Egypt and Qatar. Hamas refused to go. A diplomat briefed on the talks says the group is expected to be consulted after. The U.S. says the talks will continue.
We fully expect these talks to move forward as they should.
And is pushing for a resolution.
It is far time for the remaining hostages to be released, which of course include American citizens, and bring relief to the people of Gaza under the deal that is now on the table.
In Gaza, this was the line for food handouts. Yesterday, we showed you 2 newborns. Multiple witnesses say they were killed by Israeli fire. We returned to see how their father, Mohammed Abu al-Qamsan, is trying to piece his life together. Looking through the baby clothes he bought with his wife, killed in the same strike. He sums up his feelings simply. They broke my heart, he said. The Israeli military responded to our request for information, saying in part, the details of the incident as published are not currently known to the IDF, and that the IDF targets only military objectives and employs various measures to minimize harm to civilians.
Israeli negotiators are back in Qatar today for a high-stakes ceasefire summit hosted by Qatar, Egypt, and the United States. CIA Director Bill Burns is back in the room, as he has been many times over the last 10 months, trying to close the gaps between Israel and Hamas, trying to get to a ceasefire to end the war in Gaza and to finally bring those Israeli hostages home after more than 300 days in captivity. Hamas has said it will not attend these talks. They believe they've made their position clear and that more talking isn't going to lead to anything. They say the demands are on the table and Israel needs to agree to them. Now, a diplomat briefed on these negotiations says the format here is the 3 mediating countries will meet with Israel, and then at some point in the coming days, they will go and they will meet with Hamas, and they will see if there is progress that can be made here. But there are a number of very complex issues that the 2 sides are divided on. I'll give you just one example. The question of what happens on the border between Egypt and Gaza. You might remember Israeli forces seized that border area earlier in May. They say Israeli troops need to stay there to prevent Hamas from smuggling weapons underneath the border. Hamas is saying that is a non-starter, and Israeli forces need to withdraw from the Strip. Raf Sanchez, NBC News, Tel Aviv.